My name is Tony Doherty. I'm the son of Patrick Doherty.
I'm Margaret Ray. I'm the sister of John Ray.
My name is Mickey McKinney. I'm a brother of William McKinney.
My name is Jean Haggerty. I am the oldest sister of Kevin McElhinney.
My name is John Kelly. My brother Michael Kelly was one of those murdered on Bloody Sunday.
I remember being on the march. I remember going to the march. I remember standing in Bishop's Field.
It was the beautifulest January day. The sun was shining. There was a carnival atmosphere.
As we walked along, there was a lot of singing and laughing and joking, and people were in great form. Simply because they seen how big this march was.
Barricade 12 was further on down the street. That was stopping us from getting on the Guildhall. And I remember the crowd being agitated and by what was because we weren't getting on the Guildhall Square. There was a wee bit of riot going on further on down at the barricade.
Eventually I got round the front of the Rossville flats and the shooting began. 2 bullets passed my head. I could hear the whistle of the bullet as it passed my head.
There was people saying there's 6 dead at the barricade. This is all within a matter of seconds.
Then after the shooting had stopped and people were starting to re-emerge from wherever they were hiding or cowering, somebody said to my mother that they had heard that my father had been shot in down at the Rossville flats.
I can't remember, I think the first news said 6 people had died, and then the later news was 8, and then later again at 11 o'clock it was a greater number. So there was a few phone calls amongst the Derry, Derry ones that were there, and it was pretty much, no, we haven't heard anything. And I went to bed that night not knowing that Kevin was dead. I was woken up, I think it was about 5 o'clock in the morning when the phone rang, and it was my Aunt Eva. And somehow I knew, when it was my Aunt Eva, I knew there was something wrong.
When I got into my own house, the house was packed with people. Father McLaughlin was in it, and my father approached me and he says, well, he's dead. And that I just fell to my knees and on tears.
Michael was shot at the barricade by soldierette, carried through the car park outside, then taken into this house. So that's where I was standing when my brother-in-law they were bringing Michael out at the time, and he seen me and called me. So I ran to Michael and helped to carry him and put him in the ambulance and take him to the hospital where he was declared dead on arrival.
When my mother was told that day, I never heard a scream like it in all my life, and I never will again. My mother's life was just... My mother died 2 years after Jim, and we do blame the shock of Jim's death for helping her death along. She just constantly mourned him.
I remember as a 10 or 11-year-old knowing someday that I would join the IRA, and I think a lot of people who grew up and who were children and teenagers at that period knew that that's what they were going to do. And it was a personal thing for me, but it was also a personal thing for many other people at that time. And those who didn't, and who continued to pursue peaceful methods and so on, fair play to them. But people like me joined the IRA because of the brutality of the state and because justice wasn't to be found.
We started the campaign in '92, and I thought we were successful in the fact that we made legal history to get a second inquiry into anything. And we all know how long the inquiry went on.
The campaign had 3 demands. The first one was a full declaration of innocence for our people. The second one was the repudiation of witchery, the lies, and the third one was the prosecution of the soldiers and those who planned it.
Now we've got the truth. Is that a kind of justice? I personally have reconciled myself to the fact that we will get no more.
it is heavy in innocence and light in guilt, but at the very least we have taken ourselves along the road of establishing the vast bulk of the truth about what happened that day. Might be some things still remain to be done, but we'll see.
If you look at it, there's 50 years of my brother's life was taken from him. 50 years that's been taken from us. He would have had a family, I would say. All those were lost to us. And it's certainly important that this guy and all of those who fired shots that day and tried to kill and did kill people should be prosecuted and go to jail.